The Indiana Pacers have been reaping the rewards from the blockbuster trade with the Sacramento Kings in 2020 that saw Tyrese Haliburton switch jerseys in a crazy trade. The trade has sparked some former Kings players to share their opinions on Haliburton and the trade, and their reactions will shock you. Moreover, Haliburton has been a revelation for the Pacers and has most likely caused the Kings to rethink their decision. In today's video, we'll be going over the trade and the fallout since that day, so stick around because you won't want to miss a second of this video. The former Kings have lots to say about the blossoming star. Tyrese Haliburton was one of the most sought-after players in the 2020 draft after a wicked showing with Iowa State in his draft year. When he was drafted 12th overall by Sacramento, the Kings may have finally put themselves on the right track to coming out of this seemingly endless rebuild until last year when they announced they were sending the second-year star to Indiana. The trade shocked the NBA world as one of the best up-and-coming players in the entire league was sent to a different team for pennies on the dime. Recently, Haliburton returned to Sacramento, but this time in a Pacers jersey, which sparked a few former Kings players to share their thoughts on the young guard. Bobby Jackson was asked on SiriusXM radio for his thoughts on Haliburton, and he did not hold back. Jackson said, "I think he's grown. I think he's grown tremendously. Tremendous guy to have in the locker room. Tremendous guy to lead your team. But I think the number one thing is the guys love him. His teammates love him. He comes in with the right attitude and professionalism that works hard every single day, and I'm not surprised that he's leading the league in assists because his IQ for the game is higher than many guys in this league." While these words are very kind and should inspire Pacers fans for the franchise's future, it should send Kings fans into a spiral. Why would the Kings management be so quick to give up on one of the best and upcoming players in the league if his former teammates have nothing but good things to say about him? Moreover, if the Kings players loved him and he was such a good player, why would they give up on him for almost nothing? The Kings received Domantas Sabonis, Jeremy Lamb, Justin Holiday, and a 2027 second-round pick in exchange for Haliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson. The assets that the Kings got in exchange are not worth Haliburton alone, let alone Haliburton, Thompson, and Hield. The Pacers took the Kings to the cleaners in this trade, and it really is difficult to see why the Kings let it happen. Since Haliburton has been with the Pacers, he has become one of the best setup men in the league, averaging 11.3 assists per game, and while the Kings have seen some benefit of the players they received in the trade, nothing would compare to having their own homegrown draft pick lighting it up in a Kings jersey. The Kings and the Pacers are making the trade work despite the trade being awfully lopsided. As I mentioned, the Kings have been in a seemingly endless rebuild, failing to make the playoffs for 16 years, and after this trade and a few horrid drafts, the Kings look like they were going to continue to spiral into an endless drain of failure. However, that hasn't been the case at all. The Kings got Domantas Sabonis in the trade that sent Haliburton to the Pacers, and while Sabonis is a great player, he is usually regarded as a player that performs better when he's surrounded by elite talent. However, he is beginning to put that narrative to bed as he's been putting up some decent numbers with the Kings. He's leading the Kings in assists and putting up fantastic numbers from down low, allowing the Kings to score from anywhere. Moreover, Sabonis is finding ways for the Kings shooters to take open shots by setting up screens that are stopping even the best defenders in the league. But the craziest part is that Sabonis is only one of two players in the NBA averaging 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists per game. The other is Giannis Antetokounmpo, which means that Sabonis is performing like one of the best players in the whole league. If Sabonis wasn't performing like this, the trade between the Pacers and the Kings would look much worse for the Kings than it currently does. Sabonis is doing something that Haliburton did not do, which may be why this trade is working out for him. Sabonis and Kings superstar De'Aaron Fox have some electric chemistry that has brought out the best in both players, allowing the Kings to outscore their expectations, which of course has allowed the Kings to make this trade look somewhat decent. But when you look at Haliburton and his performance with the Pacers, it is hard to call this an even trade. Haliburton has pretty much single-handedly driven the team to competitive status, as many people had the Pacers penciled in for dead last at the end of this season. But as of this recording, the Pacers are competing for a playoff spot in the East. Not only that, but they currently have the third best offensive rating in the league, and that is all thanks to Haliburton, who has racked up impressive assist numbers while also keeping his turnover numbers low. The Pacers do not give up the ball very often and find ways to convert their possessions into points seemingly every possession, which, at least as of right now, is making this trade look like a win for both teams. But I am going inclined to predict that the Kings will eventually regret making this trade, much like how they regret passing on Luka Doncic in the 2018 draft. Can you imagine where this Kings team could be if they had a shred of confidence in their front office? They could be sitting with Doncic and Haliburton, who is currently wiping the floor with opposing teams along with teammate Benedict Mathurin. Haliburton and Mathurin are making the NBA look easy. Haliburton and Mathurin are now cruising through the NBA, putting up insane numbers. When the pair of the young superstars are on the court, it is undeniable that the Pacers are a better team. With the duo on the court, the Pacers are shooting less close and more from a distance. What's great about this is that when both players are on the court, the Pacers hit these deep shots and have three-point percentage of 36.2%. Moreover, their fast break conversion is ludicrously high when both players are on the court, and the two are the ones creating these breaks. The Pacers have had a top 10 offensive rating all season thanks to this duo, who have generated offense from all over the court. Haliburton is one of the league's best passers, allowing the Pacers offense to score from anywhere and making defenders' lives difficult because they never know where the ball will go. Moreover, the Pacers have been fouled while on offense a crazy amount of times, thanks honestly to Mathurin, who has been sent to the charity line more than almost any other player in the league. Mathurin's aggressive play style down low often results in him being fouled, so much so that 36.7% of all the Pacers' free throws have come when Mathurin and Haliburton are on the court. The Pacers have enjoyed a competitive season to this point in the season thanks almost entirely to this dynamic duo, and Haliburton has been especially important to this team's offense. The Pacers surprised the entire league by not being the worst team in the league, largely due to the surprising offensive output this team has seen. And while Mathurin is helping by being a wrecking ball down low and helping out from the line, it is Haliburton's distribution of that ball that has allowed the Pacers to be a threat from anywhere on the court. Haliburton is averaging 11.3 assists per game, and the Pacer with the second highest APG is Andrew Nembhard with a 4.1 APG, meaning that whenever Haliburton is on the court for the Pacers, they are an infinitely better squad. Haliburton is still young and is just beginning to come into his prime, meaning that the Pacers may be able to speed up their rebuild timeline by 3 or 4 years. This trade may be working out for both teams right now, but it's undeniable that the Pacers have become a team that nobody ever saw coming, and that is thanks largely in part to the former Sacramento King, Tyrese Haliburton. Well, that's all we have for you on the channel today. Thank you so much for tuning in. So what do you think of the trade? Do you think that the Kings did okay despite trading away Haliburton? Are the Pacers a legit contender despite their preseason expectations? Let us know what you think in the comments section below. Don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We hope you enjoyed today's content, and we'll see you in the next video.